All right, welcome everybody to Soulpreneur Sunday. I'm so excited. This is Lana Vassallo.
Hey.
Yay! She's an artist, and today we're going to look
Mhm.
at her astrology charts and see why this chart is the artist's chart.
Ooh.
And Lana, I like your last name, Vassallo. That does sound like Picasso. It sounds like, an artist name.
Has some flair to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lana and I met here in Peace River, Alberta. And so look behind, I can see, oh no, it looks like a storm's coming. And if it's at
Yeah.
Lana's house,
Well,
it must be at my house too.
way, I think.
It's coming my way.
I think so.
Oh
Maybe
dear.
not.
So you were doing some painting today, right? You're painting some
Yes.
murals, right?
Yes. Yeah. My daughter and I were out painting today.
And we'll look at what you're doing right now in Peace River, Alberta. So you do murals for people in town on the buildings, is that correct?
Yeah. Just any businesses or organizations. There's been a couple just personal, like people on the street. They come and they see us working on something and I've had requests for garage doors and I've had requests for motorhomes and a lot of things.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so cool. I wanted to say to everybody that you are a Gemini sun, okay? And
Mhm.
so it makes sense because your sun is sort of a lot about our career too and our direction in life. And so you being a Gemini, you work with your hands and you're not meant to hide in the studio forever. Gemini wants to communicate, network, teach, and connect with people. And in fact, tell us about your regular 9 to 5 job, we'll call it.
Oh,
What's that?
well, my regular 9 to 5 job, uh, I am an EA at a school, at a middle school. Um, I I generally end up working with the grade eights. Um, but basically they put me wherever. Yeah, I like helping the kids, get a handle on what they're being taught and everything so that they can use that to go forward in life and creates a stronger foundation. Hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to share with everybody some of your favorite art that you've done in the past. And this is really beautiful. Personally, I like this one a lot.
Thanks.
So is this oil painting or what is
Yeah.
this? Yeah.
So all the ones that I sent you, like that were smaller pictures, not the murals, those are all oil paintings. I generally work in oil. Um, I do teach like paint nights or some like some kids classes, or I'll do like group sessions, and that's usually in acrylic, but I do teach oil classes, and I've done it in like as a series, or I just do one-offs kind of. So and I do teach those at the Art Hub in
Wow.
Peace River. Yeah. Or just on my own. So yeah, we'll do acrylic paint parties or whatever, or I'll do actual like painting lessons in that, and
And,
usually in oil.
and this one, I see this picture with you and the Legion. And is that your daughter? She paints too,
Yeah,
or
that's
what?
my daughter. So yeah, that's my daughter with me. So she actually helped me paint like our very first one. We attended a training at the Art Hub,
Yeah.
and um, they had a professional mural artist came in. They chose a couple artists that they thought would use it or use that to what they were teaching. And um, so we did the training, and really it was kind of like, well, like here's a crash course, this is how you do it. But I can sit here and talk to you about it, but I think it's better if you just do it. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do it. So we got to do a mural on the back of the art hub. So my daughter and I painted a barrel racer.
Oh yeah, the barrel racer one. Where did I
Yeah.
put that? Right here. This one, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was they'd given us some prompts and they were pretty vague. And I had to do a little bit of prying to try and get a little bit more information just to know what direction I could go in. So yeah, I did get more information and eventually came up with that picture. It's actually a picture of my friend and her barrel horse. And I just loved it because there was so much action in movement, like you could actually see him moving. So yeah, we painted that, and it was kind of like that's where it all started.
Elevate murals. And so can we find you
Yeah.
online? Is that how we can
Yeah,
find you online?
you can find us on uh Instagram, although I don't tend to post a lot. I probably should. I do a lot more on Facebook. And we do have a website. Mhm.
Awesome. Well, so today we're going to look at your chart because I want to show our Cards and Stars community, our soulpreneurs who are into this astrology stuff, right?
Okay.
How these certain
Yes.
things can pan out for you. And because you want to make this into a full-time business, what are the predictions for that?
Hmm.
What's the energy surrounding that? So it should be pretty exciting. So I'm going to pull
Ooh.
up your chart that you were born with. This is what you were born with. So
Okay.
let me do that. A lot of people are beginners that watch my channel. So we're going to just first of all look at that Gemini sun in the seventh house, which is over here. Okay. And it's right next to Mercury retrograde. You were born, Lana, with Mercury retrograde already. So that's why when Mercury retrogrades happen, they don't really affect you. In fact, you're used to it. So when everybody else
Oh,
is
that's good.
going through Mercury retrograde stuff, I know you've heard about that. Well, you're
Oh,
already
yes.
used to it. So you're you've got a lot of head like stuff in the head, like ideas, creativity. Mercury is all about communications too. Like you are meant to
Yeah.
communicate quite a bit. And
Yeah.
I want to ask you with this Gemini sun, that's the circle with the dot, the red circle with the dot in the middle, that's your sun in Gemini. I want to ask you, Lana, do your best opportunities come through people talking about you rather than advertising?
I would say 100%.
You get a lot of referrals. That's huge for you with this
Yeah.
placement. Seventh house is a lot about one-on-one connection to a negotiation. So when you go
Yeah.
for coffee with a buyer, right, and
Yeah.
you can definitely make negotiations and wheel and deal. Or it could be just you're going to the grocery store and you see someone and you make a deal right on the spot there in the grocery store, for example.
Hmm.
But yeah, referrals are a huge deal for you. Now, you were born with a Cancer moon, so your internal feelings are very nurturing. Cancer is very intuitive, nurturing. It's a water sign. And so this is a really beautiful placement for an artist because Cancer creates from its emotion and from memory as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have a really good memory. Um,
Yeah.
you make art that feels comforting to people and nostalgic. See, Cancer likes
Yeah.
ancestors or the old ways or looking back in family albums, for example, like that feeling. And so your paintings probably have that nostalgic feel to it and healing. And I want to ask you, Lana, do people get emotional around your artwork?
I don't know. I haven't really, I guess, seen them too much interacting with my artwork because I'm usually not there. But I know that the ones that have seen us painting on the like when we're painting our murals and everything, that's usually like kind of in the public eye, and that's when people see it, and it always seems to bring them joy. Everyone is so happy, and it's always just positive feedback that we get from them.
Oh my
So,
gosh, that's an
I
interesting you say positive because you're born a Sagittarius rising and Sagittarius very optimistic. So I can see why they are optimistic around you. Sagittarius rising, but that's very exploratory, philosophical, and lots of times if you have a Sagittarius placement strong like you
Hmm.
do, you work in some kind of school, higher learning. So that's why your day job is EA. But more than that, I want
Okay.
to talk about something really interesting. You were born, Lana, with this Uranus right on your ascendant. That's crazy. Now, Uranus is very like shocking, electrical, works with unexpected changes and very like inventive and slightly rebellious. Now, I want to ask you something separate about this. When you walk under those lights, street lights, do they kind of flicker in and out sometimes? Do you do you change electricity in your house some way? Do you ever have that?
Oh, there's I I don't know about like the street lights or whatever. I This might sound a little weird. Like the flickering lights, I mean I wouldn't say that it's like that all the time, but it's almost like I can feel a draw, like
Mm.
almost like it's kind of connecting to my fingers. That sounds really
No, I can
off.
understand that. Can you wear watches?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
Do you remember when you were growing up if you ever wore watches and they just stop suddenly or the digital
Yeah,
goes wonky and you lose some LED lights in the numbers or whatever?
they usually died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uranus on the ascendant. Wow. Like you got lots of interesting things there. Sometimes Uranus on the ascendant can mean you changed your looks often growing up too. Like maybe you were the one that would try the newest, wildest hairstyle or something different and unique than everybody else. Your clothes, hair, something like that too. Anyways, the whole thing is that you're not supposed to fit in one box, right? Educational assistant, artist,
Yep.
business owner, so it makes perfect sense. It makes you memorable because you're unusual, unusual energy from that Uranus on your ascendant. Your career is not going to be traditional with this. So it makes sense to me.
Fabulous.
I also
Fabulous.
want to look at your midheaven, which is a career placement. It's not really a planet, it's just kind of a spot in your chart. And
Hmm.
yours is right here in the 10th house of career in Virgo. Okay. This surprised me in a good way though, because a lot of people think Virgo careers are boring, but it's not true. And I want to say this to everybody because a lot of my people that watch me have Virgo in them. Now, Virgo rules craftsmanship, details, precision, service to others, and murals like you paint require measuring, planning, scaling, and a lot of patience. And that's very Virgo indeed. It takes a long time to create a mural, and it takes a lot of precision, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does. And like I think about my fine art and everything too. And I usually do like a photorealism style. So I mean it is very precise. Like and your detail has to be like I shouldn't say has to be, but usually when I'm creating I like to get all the tiny little details. I enjoy doing that. I like focusing on that. Like it's kind of like that cherry on top. Yeah. Icing on the cake, kind of
Wow.
cherry on top of your sundae.
But Jupiter is in the 12th house, and I have that like you, Lana. And that means that we've been saved from harm numerous times physically by a guardian angel. Did you have that experience too?
Yeah. Oh, oh yeah. What was I? Was probably about 12 or 13. And we actually had a scenario that played out where it wasn't just me, like it was almost like I had this vision, just like this quick little video flash before my eyes of what was going to play out. It was almost like it was happening like right then and there, and then all of a sudden I'm back and we're pulling into this driveway, and I like as we're turning into this driveway, then I heard this voice and it's like, take your seatbelt off. And so I took my seatbelt off. And my mom went out, got out of the vehicle, went up to ring the doorbell. And the vehicle started rolling backwards out into the street, and I lunged across the console, and I had my hands on the brake, and all of my siblings were in the vehicle, and there was a car coming.
Oh my
And
gosh.
luckily, we didn't roll out into the street.
Wow. So fascinating.
Yeah.
The Jupiter 12th house also gives you unexpected supporters. For example, people who believe in you, Lana. And it's like, have people randomly open doors of opportunity for you, right? I'm sure that's happened quite a bit in your life.
Mhm.
Okay, Venus is a planet I like to look at, especially for artists like you, because Venus
Mhm.
brings luxury and love and beautifying things through art and music and such. And so you have
Mhm.
yours in Aries in the fifth house. And this means Lana could say, I create because I have to. It's very entrepreneurial, Venus and Aries in the fifth house. Okay. This means you don't like copying other people, you like starting projects, and you paint once inspiration hits, for example. A really good
Mhm.
placement for someone that owns an art business. So, yeah, that's cool. I like to see that for you.
That's awesome.
Okay. And then in your chart, too, I saw a one kind of, I'm not gonna go through every single placement, but one of the things I'm gonna start to share because I want to show you one bad thing, okay? And it's not a bad thing, but
Okay.
something you could work on or be aware of, okay? It's that one on the top, Moon, Square, Saturn. Squares are tough.
Mm.
Saturn wants a bunch of like structure and boundaries, and he makes delays. And then the moon is like very feely, emotionally intuitive, and kind of wants to do its moon thing. So when you have that moon square Saturn, you're born with this. It could be one of your biggest growth
Yeah.
lessons. And it means that you might question yourself. It means that you wonder maybe sometimes, am I good enough? And
Mhm.
you might feel guilty charging what you're worth with this placement. And this is where I gently encourage you to look at those. Make sure you charge what you're worth and make sure you're not working for $2 an hour, so to speak, right? Just something I wanted to put out there. Um, the next one is Venus opposition. It's opposite Pluto. And this is like a really good aspect for artists because it gives you depth, intensity, and transformation. And so that means people will remember your work forever. So that looks good. And if
Awesome.
you, next time we do a reading together or whatever, we can go deeper. But I just wanted to give you those, themes.
That's
So
awesome. Thanks.
do you, because we are a bunch of entrepreneurs watching Soulpreneur Sunday here.
Mhm.
That's a common theme about us undercharging and giving away the farm for free, so to speak. So how do you
Mhm.
feel in that department right now? Do you feel like you're charging what you're worth and stuff? Like
I
honest.
think, honestly,
Yeah.
I think that I like honestly in the past, I know that it has been something that I struggled with because I feel like, oh, I don't want to rip people off. And I did really struggle with that. And I actually kind of had a little talk with myself.
Great.
And it was like, okay, so you spent all this time on doing this and you made this much money. That calculates to this much an hour. It's like
Yes.
I look at other people's work and what they've charged or what they're asking and everything. And
Okay.
it's like I use that kind of as a benchmark for like where I feel my artwork is and where I should be charging. So I've actually like with my fine arts, um I have started to ask more for that. Um with the murals, I'm just kind of getting into it, and I feel like the one big one, yes, I could have asked for more.
Mhm.
Um, like I'm aware of that. I'm thinking, yeah, I could have asked for more because there were things that I didn't take into consideration that were going to be costs. But I am aware of that struggle.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely have dealt with that, or not dealt with it, but I've had to deal with that. So
Well, and you're at the beginning of making your business and you're just going to start ironing out those kind of things. So
yeah.
don't beat yourself up and about it because you'll get it. But yeah, um it'll all pan out in the future. Actually, speaking of the future, let's look at your career
Hmm.
timing. That's July we're in right now. Oh,
Okay.
happy July 4th to all our American viewers, by the way. That's when this was recorded.
Oh.
And happy Independence Day. Okay, so let's look at Lana's career, kind of career future. I mean, without looking at every transit, I just want to look at a few big ones, okay? So when we look at astrology, the inner wheel is the what she was born with, right? And what you're born with, and then the outer wheel is what's going on in the cosmos and causing stuff to you or whatever, or for you. Okay. Now, one of the biggest themes was for
Mhm.
everybody, Jupiter just entered Leo. So, Jupiter being the holly jolly expansion planet we talked about, entering Leo. Look at me. I've got something to shine. Like there's a lot of art and creativity there with Leo. And for everybody, there is this sense of let's change something maybe to become more visible, prominent, be creative. And so for you, Jupiter has entered Leo in your ninth house, which is really great for you, Lana, because this can mean very big expansion with other people. It's a larger audience. It's like expanding your business in so many ways, and even teaching workshops, for example. I know you've done that in the past, but doing more of that. Or you could create more online content about your murals, your art, get, like we talked about at the beginning of this, getting more into the
Okay.
Instagram and showing everybody your stuff, right? And sharing. So that looks really good. It's about thinking a
Hmm.
little bigger than just the local commissions. So that looks really good for you. Okay. I wanted to ask you a few questions, Lana, too. When did you first know that you
Okay.
were an artist?
Probably at 3 years old.
Wow. Really?
At three, when I kind of threw a fit and proclaimed to my mom when she told me that I had to put my paints away, and I said, "But I just want to paint."
Oh,
I think I was 5 or 6, and I had done a drawing, and I had submitted it to the Chickadee magazine, like for kids, those
right. You
little
know
the
what? I
kids
remember
magazine,
that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I submitted a drawing, and I think it was either of a chickadee or a robin, and they published it. And I was kind of
Published.
shocked. Like it was, I mean, I'm not saying this to be boastful or anything, but um with that being said, it was really good for the age that I was. Like I remember it was like a picture. And I just I I knew that I enjoyed it. I knew that I loved it. And then seeing like it was almost, having that, getting that outside, um
Validation.
like, yeah, like, and I mean, I was, 5, 6 years old, so I probably didn't realize that's what was happening. But I think that just kind of helped spur it on. And then when I was about 8 or 9, my mom let me use her oil paints but she had this old book, like it was an instruction book, and they had different paintings, and it was kind of like the old Renaissance style paintings, but it was all like florals and everything, and they were just beautiful. I loved those pictures. I was like, I want to paint those. I
Wow.
want to paint like that, and I think that's probably what maybe shaped how I paint.
Well, I find it interesting too. I just talked to you about Jupiter and Leo in the ninth house with expansion and publishing, and you're talking about when you published to Chickadee magazine, and then you're also 44
Mhm.
years old. You just turned in May, so his 44th year of life is a perfected
Mhm.
ninth house. So ninth house is coming up twice in your whole, thing, and that means it's time to expand. It's time to publish more things, publishing murals, publishing your work, entering contests in magazines, all that publishing and messaging to the greater world. And that's coming double strong in your whole
Okay.
thing. So use this year until your next birthday to
Oh,
really focus on that expansion of your
okay.
business. That looks really good and exciting.
Awesome.
Okay,
That's
so
exciting. I'm excited too.
I'm excited for you too. And so I want to say, I don't think your path is about choosing between being an educational assistant or an artist. It's like just building the business enough strong to support you. And I think that that's what you're
Mhm.
doing this year. And I want to warn you that some of the stuff in your chart is going to say, quit the job, go full time painting. But don't do that right away. Okay. Make sure,
Okay.
take this year to probably do the year of schooling, like this EA stuff, but and grow your
Yeah.
business at the same time. And then there could be a point though this year where you say, I am going to go full time, but just don't do it right away without having everything, yeah, like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, set. Okay, so keep creating, keep sharing your work, and let your reputation grow one mural at a time, Lana, and you'll be so very good. And so that's my last question for you is, imagine it's 2031, which is 5 years from now. How would you like to see your business? What does that look like to you?
Oh, I think that actually, well, that looks like full time. Um, that also looks like different countries. Like I see myself south. Like I'm thinking, I don't know, like in the States or South America or something. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because your chart was
I
showing expansion beyond Peace River, beyond the local commissions.
yeah,
You're really in this expansion mode right now. Very exciting.
yeah, it is exciting.